Okay, some of you may know that I do this crazy neurotic thing where I take notes every day on what's going on in my life, and then I put it all on a wall calendar so that I can see it. And I will show you. This is my wall calendar. So when I put up the new year, I put it down here and I move the bottom row up here so I can still see what was happening the past 4 months without so I don't just see like a blank year with no context. And so this was 2021, September, October, November, December. Obviously there's a lot to explain. It's all kind of coded. But each day has the potential for blue when I'm feeling like myself, green when I work out. Let's change the camera. There we go. Yellow when I'm eating like healthy, the way that is good for my body. Pink is when I work, and purple is outside when I spend some time outside. The lightning bolts are triggers if I get badly triggered, and then I'll write people's names that I spent time with people, when I fly out places, my birthday, all sorts of fun things. There's a lot of personal information in here. This is when we met Maddie in person for the first time in April of last year. Bane started having really bad anxiety. Anyway, this is when we were in Mexico. Yeah, Maddie went to Mexico. We went to Mexico. We were in Mexico. We were in Tulum. And we went on a bus to change locations. So this is where I last updated my calendar. And so it has been 2 years. That's not what I'm gonna say. It has been a solid year since I updated my calendar. So it takes me about, if I get backlogged a month, it takes me about an hour to do a whole month. So I've spent 12 hours over the past few days forcing myself to keep going and keep updating all of my calendar. So this gives me the ability to, like, it's kind of nice when that happens because I really sit down and saturate myself in my daily notes over time of like how I've been feeling and how athletic I've been in like waves. Sometimes I do a lot of working out, sometimes I don't do it for a long time. When I'm eating healthy and then not, and eating healthy, all of that, and seeing how they all go together, what things kind of seem like they impact, everything. So I thought it might be fun for us to go through and look at an overview of the last 12 months of my fucking life. So at the end of that was the end of September, and we were in Mexico, and Maddie and I broke up, and Thane and I came back here. So we have October, which there's a lot of blue. I was feeling like myself. I was eating healthy. I was trying to recover from binge eating and stuff. And at the very end of Mexico, I was really good while I was there, and my health was doing really well. I was working every day and only getting a little bit of sun, but yeah, it's a season. And then November, a lot of spending time outside, probably a lot of going on walks. So this is when, I changed the color purple to Maddie. So this is how, instead of outside, this is how I was doing in connection with Maddie. So we were broken up, but we were still spending a lot of time together. Or no, we weren't quite broken up yet. I don't know. We were somewhere in there. This is when we actually broke up, but I kept recording that as my thing. Lots of things. I made my Becoming Besties group, which is crazy. It was like almost a year ago. I had obviously a hard day on Thanksgiving, a couple of big lightning bolts there. But this is also pretty full. No blues and greens, not a lot of pinks, I guess. So I was only working like a teeny tiny of like work related kind of things a day. And then December, you can see December ended a little bit drier, but it's still pretty pretty solid. A lot going on. I went on all these adventures with friends. And then January, I stopped working out. There's no green. I think I was going to the gym. I was going to the gym in November and December. And so I was doing pretty good. Maddie moved in and things were doing pretty good and okay. And then my grandfather got sick and I was there at his house nursing him while he passed away. And after that, things just get a little dark. So yeah, this is February. There's a lot less color. Things with Maddie are pretty solid. So things with Maddie have always felt pretty solid. There's only been like 1 or 2 times that that aspect of it dipped. So I have like a baseline. I rate it like 1 through 5 every day. And that 5 is like solid. Like it just means good. And like we're in it and we're doing this. And then it goes above 5 when I'm feeling really good and connected, really attracted, like whatever I'm feeling like really good, then it's like bonus points, right? But when all of that fades away, it's still like a solid, and it can, get kind of like more struggly at times, where we're having a hard time and I just feel really disconnected. I'm really having to pull away, or I'm really upset with him about something. So anyway, yeah, I have talked to him many times. He's never really been in a relationship like this. He's never been somebody's person. And he's always just kind of been able to drop in for people as he's available. And that doesn't work very well when you're someone's partner and living with them and like they nurse their grandfather to death. So it was hard. This is a hard time. There were things in relationship that were very important that were missing. And so the orange is when I got bad enough that I had to send Maddie to stay with my parents, which was a condition of him moving here in the first place, that I knew I was going to need that. That was the primary reason my last marriage could not make it, is because I learned about myself that I do need space. Because with the PMDD, and it's like a borderline personality flare up, like my brain just targets the shit out of him, and the only thing I can do is to just like take space, and then it calms down, and then we're good. So yeah, March, a lot more work, a lot more triggers, not very much working out, some more bad days. I got another job. And then here's wedding bells in April. And as you can see, like, this is bad. So in March, we had Zoloft right there, Zoloft. And it felt like it was helping so much. And it was helping so much then. I wasn't going through the big swings of PMDD, because as the PMDD went, like as soon as it started to drop, the Zoloft would bring me back up. And as it got worse, I'd take more Zoloft. And then as it went away, because I started my period, I'd just get off the Zoloft. It was great. Worked really great. Also, I was just borrowing against the future because it completely fucked my brain. So yeah, it all started to fall apart. We had wedding bells. I was doing a lot. I started doing escape room meetups. I don't know if that was early on. I think maybe it was in March that I started, but we went a big honeymoon. And just a lot of triggers and problems. This is the first time that Thane successfully slept over at his best friend's house, somewhere else other than my house and my parents' house, which was a big deal because he wanted to for a long time. More escape rooms. We trialed at the Montessori school, but you can see there's like not much blue, not much of me feeling like myself, not much green, not able to really work out, take care of myself that way. I was doing I write when it's juice feasting. So it doesn't look like I was juice feasting, but I was doing pretty consistent of trying to like eat what I thought in that time was the best for my body at the time wherever I was. I did photography at the last minute for a couple of big red carpet events for a business that my brother was working for. And yeah, so then I started taking the Seroquel, and I had a really bad day where I thought I was losing my mind or going insane, and it turned out to be very low blood sugar. The Seroquel was really screwing with my blood sugar, and I continued to try to take it because that's what my doctor said, and then I said no. And yeah, this is where I got an in-person assistant and a virtual work assistant introduced to my life. But you can see where this is where the Zoloft and all of the meds that I was taking, you see these faces kind of indicating when like it's beyond not feeling myself, it's beyond depression. There are days when I'm just so zonked. Zonked is my favorite word for it. I don't feel like a person, and I don't feel like I can function. It's just painful to be alive and to be human. And those are bad days. Then the next month seemed a bit better. It was really still very hard. I was still very sick, but things started to go to this YMCA camp, and I had a little bit more time to myself. I would spend time just at the YMCA because it was like a 2-hour drive. But it was working, and then suddenly it wasn't, and it wasn't worth it. He didn't like it, and he didn't want to go anymore after loving it. So, and then so there's a lot of time where Maddie was not staying with us. These big V's are when it got so bad, I was in complete crisis mode, and my mom had to come to my house and pick up either my child or my partner, or my child and my partner, and take them so that I could just recover. It was very bad, and there were 2 days, that one and that one, this month. I was very mentally ill. Just my brain was, I had more than one doctor tell me that the state that my brain was in was equivalent to a concussion of, from a really bad car accident or something. Like, it was really, really hard. And I'm really grateful for my mom and the support of everyone who didn't know what the hell was happening, but through enough standing up for myself and insisting, people supported me. That's what you gotta do. So it just wasn't as easy as if I had gotten in a car accident and had a concussion, and then the doctor was like, you have to be really gentle with her. I had to tell them that myself, even though it sounded kind of crazy. And so then July, even though I was still really sick and I was only on juice and all of that, like, we were going to buy Escape and Evade. I was running that for like a week and a half. It was really exciting. Also, it was very hard and just took more energy for me that I didn't have. It was worth it, but definitely costly. Another bad blowout day. We got lice. That was fun on a weekend that I finally got to spend some time with a friend. And more chaos. And then at the end of that was recently when my brother got heat stroke. He ended up in the hospital. Here he is in heat stroke, and things started school. Montessori start. So this is August. It feels like just like a couple weeks ago, man, when I look at it. But yeah, more lightning bolts, but not nearly as bad as some of those months when I was doing the Zoloft and all those medications. Like, they just totally ruined my brain. And yeah, more events. This is when I binged gluten and dairy to get the test results. And if you haven't listened to Dungeon Crawler Carl, if you like good TV shows, good movies, good books, it's an audiobook on Audible that's better than any movie or TV show I've ever experienced. And it's 6 books long, and it is absolutely fucking worth it. So that's on my calendar because that was a good time in my life. I want to always remember that, and when it was, and when I get to do it again. This is when Thane decided that he wanted to give into his anxiety that day and not go to school, and if he just had one day off that he would be cool. And I gave him that day off, and he learned that that didn't fix anything. So he started just going to school anyway. and now he's doing great and doesn't have that problem anymore. And he's very proud of himself of learning how to navigate anxiety in his brain. It's pretty cool. So September, yeah, I've been doing okay. Relationship with Maddie was like pretty solid, but having him not here is part of what keeps it solid. Honest to God. When I'm that bad, like I just can't. It's like I'm allergic to relationship, and those pathways in my brain they're just so painful. And having something that's a constant source of pain, like my brain just tries to make it stop. But yeah, I made bone broth and started taking that. Thane broke his hand, and I started hydroxyzine as just trying to go at my immune system. Went like for PMDD, trying to like just help my immune system calm down, which I think has been doing better, and it doesn't seem for now like it's costing me. This is where I did the alpha-1 infusions and had a big flare-up. Thane was homesick for a few days, and this is the month I'm back juice feasting. I had a rough few weeks from the alpha-1 infusion, and I guess now I'm a couple days behind. That's the bad thing about these kind of tasks, is you finally catch up on them, and then the next day you're behind again. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to look at everything that I have been through in the past few months, year. I have a lot of compassion for myself, and it's almost like when I'm in it, I know how bad it is in a way, and I can like advocate for myself and stuff. But when I'm on the outside of it and I look back at how bad it was, like it just sort of breaks my heart all over again. And it's almost like I didn't know how bad it was, but it was really bad. This has been a hard year, and yeah, figuring it out. So let me get the new calendar up, and then I'll show you that. Okay, here is 2022. Time for 2023. Here we go. Man, there used to be a lot more blue and green. Now it's a lot of yellow, purple, orange, and pink. I need to fix that. There you go. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any comments. Questions.